Okay, now in this part, what we are going to do here is that we have the data set ready, right? So our next objective is to extract the time component out of it, right? So let's do that. It's pretty simple. We'll just subset our data set using the column tractor sales. So let's start with that. Sales underscore TS is equals to sales underscore data tractor sales. So there you have, you've extracted. Now let's plot it, right? So let's plot this. So we'll do plot dot figure and fig size is equals to 10,5. So this is basically just initializing the size of the plot. plt dot plot, which is the object that we are going to plot on. So that's nothing but our data that we have stored in sales TS. Let's give this a label. So the label is years. plt.y label is tractor sales, right? So we have X label where we are saying there are years, and then we have our tractor sales. So this is our time series, right? So it's continuously increasing, as we can see it, that the value is increasing with each year. So the trend is upward, right? So from 2004 to 2015, the sales have increased. Every year there's a fall that we can see. And there's an incline and there's a decline that happens here. So let's determine some statistics, right? Some rolling statistics for this time series that we have generated. So let's do that. Determine rolling statistics. Okay, so roll mean is equals to sales underscore TS dot rolling window. So rolling is the function that we'll use. Now we need to specify the window, right? So the window means essentially what is the time period that we are looking at to generate this mean. So window is equals to 12, right? And dot mean. This generates the mean. Let's generate rolling standard deviation. Call it roll std sales underscore TS dot rolling window is again 12, and we'll apply the std function on top of it. Let's plot these statistics. Plot the rolling statistics. Okay, so RIG is equals to plt dot plot sales underscore TS label is equals to original. So this is our original plot, the initial plot that we have just drawn, right? Now on top of that we'll draw rolling statistics. So let's take the mean, plt dot plot roll mean, and label we'll assign it as rolling mean. Rolling mean, let's do this capital. Rolling mean. After mean we have standard deviation. We'll do a plt dot plot and roll std is what we are intending to plot. Label is equals to rolling std, let's call it. So plt dot legend, just assigning it some legend. loc is equals to best. So the legend we have assigned. Now let's give the plot title. plt dot title is rolling mean and standard deviation, and standard deviation, right? So we have the title also. Now let's do the plot dot show, right? So we'll do a plot dot show and block is equals to false. So this is not a necessary argument, guys. I mean, you can, if you do block equals to true, yeah, or you don't just do anything, it basically just changes your the way the plot has been shown here, right? So let's keep it to the original block is equals to false, right? Okay, all right. So here we have this rolling mean, which is given in the red line. We have the rolling standard deviation, and we have the original plot of the time series. Now the idea to do this is basically to see if there's a upward trend, downward trend, because mean will give you that estimation very correctly. So that's the reason we did this, and to basically compare the three plots, right? The standard deviation, how much does it vary? Does it vary along with the change in mean also? And certain other things which essentially tell us about the trend of the time series. Now the next step is essentially to look at each month, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to create a pivot table. In that pivot table, we'll have all our columns as different years and all our rows as different months, and we'll have values for each month, for each year. So this will look like essentially a data frame only, but for each year, that is your column, you'll have all the 12 values. That's your 12 rows, right? So let's do that. Now, monthly underscore sales underscore data is what we'll call it. We'll do a pivot. As I told you, we'll do a pivot table underscore table, and alright, so the arguments that we need to pass it, the first is my sales underscore data, that's my original data frame. Then we have the values, which are the values that we're going to populate, is tractor sales, right? Then we have what comes in the columns, which is equals to year. Then we have what comes in index, right? That's your basically rows. So we have month there. Right now, what we need to do here is basically we need to basically re-index the data, right? Because our index is month. So let's just first do this, right? So monthly underscore sales data dot head. Let's look at this. All right, so there we have. Now the reason it is coming like this is because our data is not properly indexed, all right, and that's something that we need to do before we do anything else, right? So let's re-index the data here, right? So monthly underscore sales underscore data is equals to monthly underscore sales data dot re-index, and what we're gonna give as index is equals to different months. So starting from Jan, then we have Feb, then we have March, then we have April, May, June, then we have July, we have after July we have August, we have September, we have October, we have November, and we have December, right? So we have re-indexed our data, closed everything here, right? Now let's look at our monthly. So we did basically, the reason in the previous block you see only April, August, December, January, February, and this is not basically, you see this, the first 5 is because of the fact that we've just done head. But if I look at the actual data, it's arranged like this. Right now, the reason you see it like this is basically because of the fact that we just re-indexed it, right? We just ran this code block and then looked at it again. So originally, if I just run this first and then run this, it's all, in a haphazard manner. The data is not properly indexed. That is starting from January till December. And the next step, what we do is we properly index the data. And let's look at the monthly sales data now. All right, so data is re-indexed. We have everything in the position that it needs to be in. All right, now let's plot this, right? The reason we did this is to see the kind of pattern that comes out month-wise. Okay, so we have, this is for each year. We have the lines, as you can see from the legend that is there on the right. Then what we see here essentially is the kind of fluctuation that you see every year and the sales compared to each other. So what we can see here is that 2004 had the maximum sales, right? And then followed by the year 2003, followed by 2012, 2011, and the least sales that we probably got was for the year, I think this matches 13, right? So 13 was the least of all of them, and 2004 was where the sales for the tractor company peaked. Right now let's look at the kind of patterns that we see year on year. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a estimate of how the data varies each month when we look at it from an aggregated perspective. So what we're trying to say here is that if we look at, let's say, 2003 to 2014 data just for the month of January, what is the kind of variation? So we'll draw a box plot there to see what is the kind of variation that we can expect when we are combining all the years and looking at the data monthly, right? So yearly sales underscore data, again we'll use pivot table, pd dot pivot underscore table. What we're gonna pass it is our data frame, that's sales data. We have the values as tractor sales. We have our columns as months, and we have our index as year. It's not months, I think it's just month. Okay, all right. So we have our this thing, right? Now let's look at yearly underscore sales underscore data. Right, again we have the thing over here. We are representing everything in a pivot table format. Now the thing is changed, that right, we have our rows as the year and our columns as the month, right? That's what we did. Now yearly sales data, we need to basically, what we did in the previous cell block also, we need to rearrange it, but here we rearranging the columns, so it will be a little different syntax. We're not going to use what we call as the reindex function, right? So yearly underscore sales underscore data is equals to yearly sales data, and what we are interested in is this part. We'll just pick it up from there. So let's just pick it up from here. Okay, we've got this. Take this out. All right, so now we have all the months here. All right, so let's look at first yearly sales data now. Right, so it's all arranged properly. Now we'll do a box plot on this. It's yearly sales data. Okay. All right, so this is where we can see what is the kind of variation if we aggregate all the data together and look at it month wise, right? So what we can see is for all the years the sales basically peaked during the months of if you have to pick top 3 months, that would be July, August and May, right? So this gives us a significant information about which are the months where the sales for the particular company, that's John Deere and Co, reaches its maximum level.